What's going on, everyone? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. My name's Matt Branch. I'm the founder of M Branch Financial. That sounds awesome saying that because I just recently incorporated. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. But I hope you guys are all doing well. If you clicked on this video, more likely than not, you're in the insurance business, whether you run an agency or you're just getting started. Here are the key ways to manage stress because a lot of what we do is not just kind of the day to day, but how we manage our day to day. Okay, so I want to lead into this. I want to kind of lean into this quote I have up here. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And just so you guys know, I've been in the insurance business for 4 years. My first year, 2 years, I did absolutely terrible because I didn't have a system in place. Now I have a system in place. But 4 years ago, I saw this quote. This guy said this: how you do one thing is how you do everything. And at the time, I just thought it was BS because it was an online guru. So fast forward 2 years, I had made no money in my business. I was being led by people that didn't really know what they're talking about. And I kind of revisited this quote because I would, wake up late, scroll TikTok, and the compound effect. I don't know if you guys ever read that, but the compound effect would work in a negative way. And I was always wondering, like, why aren't things kind of falling in place? I've been in business for 2 years now. Why am I not making money? And so I revisited this quote and I said, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So I started getting up early and I started making my bed. I started, hitting the books hard. I started learning. I started educating myself. I started learning from my past failures. So, when I'd get in a client call and, they would log off early, they'd be like, okay, cool. I would start tracking what I was doing wrong. And so I lead in with this: how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you take one thing away from this video, I want you to take away that quote right there. You're here because you want to probably start making some progress in your insurance business. You need to have a system in place when you first got started, when you're first getting started, or you're continuing to scale your insurance business. So one of the biggest keys to that is managing your stress and being organized. So I created this pyramid, as you guys can see. It's called the stress management pyramid. Fun fact, I did not know I'd be making this video. Just yesterday was such a chaotic day and I got so much done, and I do not think I would have gotten these things done yesterday or even made it out of that day alive if I did not have these three kind of pillars. So starting with the stress management pyramid, I want to kind of go over here. We have to have a vision where we want to go, because, for example, if you want to go to Florida from where I'm at in Ontario, it's very hard to get there without a clear vision, a clear map of something. I just have this right here. Know what you want to achieve and when and how you want to achieve it, okay? Going to continue to scroll down. One of the best possible things you can do for yourself right now is start creating SMART goals. So what are SMART goals? I got it here for you. A SMART goal is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. Okay. So many of us will set goals and put it on a whiteboard with no measurables. You don't know what you're going for. You just have a general idea, which is better than nothing, but this is how you get really dialed in. So specific, make a goal clear and specific, define the measurable assets of the goal. Attainable, confirm your goals are attainable, right? I'm not saying don't set realistic goals, but before you set those realistic or unrealistic goals, you got to set the attainable goals. Relevant, verify your goals are relevant, right? Does it make sense for me to hitting those goals? Let's say if you want to make $100,000 a year in insurance, maybe it's not wise to start, selling $100,000 worth of real estate each year, right? Maybe because if you focus on too many things, the thing that you're trying to hit becomes less relevant. The next one is time-based. Set up a time-based plan based on your goal. So when do you want to hit this? For example, my goal this year was to hit $100,000 by the end of my business year. So from January to January, okay, I want to hit $100,000. Set a little higher here. If you're measuring your goal in finances, always set and aim a little higher, because oftentimes we don't hit our goals. We hit what we settle for, and oftentimes when you get to that $80,000, let's say for the 100,000, I know for me, when you get to that $80,000, you kind of start to settle. You're like, I'll do it next month. So set a little higher. So then when you settle, you're hitting your $100,000 kind of mark, if that makes sense. Your goal setting, adjust frequently, avoid all things that don't lead to the desired vision. So in my first 2 years, I would set these goals, right? I didn't actually have many goals set, but what I would do is I'd set these goals and just kind of keep delaying it. I can go to the club. I can go chill with my friends here. I can chill. I kept getting distracted, right? Another thing you need to do down here is track your vision as much as possible. And that leads me to the next pillar, which is organization, okay? To the stress management pyramid. So, I'm going to zoom in here. I like to just kind of divide it into two kind of categories: personal organization and business organization. So, biggest thing right now, and I'm sure you guys deal with it, is screen time. So many of us spend 7 hours a day on average on our phone. Make sure if you're using your phone, it's for business, and it better be texting leads, prospects, so on and so forth. Maybe even, filing stuff on your phone. I always recommend just using your computer. Biggest part that kept me sane throughout all the chaos, my day to day, is tracking my fitness goals. When I go to the gym, back in 2022 and back in 2021, I would go to the gym thinking I'm being productive. And guess what? That compound effect happened in a negative way, where I would go to the gym, kind of half-ass it, not track what I'm doing at the gym, and it would lead into my business. So that's why I put track your fitness progress when you go to the gym. It's very important that you go to the gym, especially when you're stressed out, especially when you don't kind of want to do the work, right? So do the work in the gym, track your goals, make sure when you're going to the gym, you're actually, increasing your weight, tracking what you did well, right? And that could just be on your notes app on your phone, okay? Track your daily activity. You want to make sure when you're planning out your day, you're tracking each thing that you're doing on a personal level. So who are you talking to, right? Is it your old friends that don't no longer serve you, right? That's fine. You could talk to them, but just make sure you're minimizing your access to them so you could focus on what you really want to align with your goals. Like I said, I put screen time down here as well, but social interactions is what I was talking about just then. The second category to organization is the most important, in my opinion, because you need to be organized within your business. So it all starts out with your calendar. Plan the night before. Time block your day. Okay. So what I mean by that is plan each hour accordingly to your day and how much time you want to spend on each kind of task, right? Follow your calendar. If you, for example, have follow up with prospects in the first hour of your day, and you want to follow up with another prospect, but you kind of lead into that next time block, which is closing deals, closing business from the underwriters. Do not go past that hour block time. Move it to the next day. One of the biggest things that I do, and I'm still bad for this, which I'm just kind of giving you a tip here, I will be still doing my block one, which would be like, let's say, following up with prospects, when I should be in block two, which is just going to delay the day even further and I'd get less done overall, right? Now, if you're building momentum in one area, sometimes it makes sense, but you have to understand sometimes you just got to move on to the next thing because you're not going to get everything done in the day. And oftentimes you're not even going to complete all your tasks in the day. That's just the reality of it, especially if you're a high performer. So time block your day. Follow the calendar. Only do what is planned on. Okay? That is so crucial. Only do what is planned on. I'm making this video right now because I planned this in my day. If this was not planned in my day, I would not be doing this. If I had other things to do right now and I planned for it, I would not be doing this. Okay? So crucial. For example, let me put this into like an example that you would understand. Let's say your time block is calling prospects. Do not start making a TikTok video to generate new leads. That's not in your day. You're delaying following up with those prospects, calling those prospects. Plan to make those TikTok videos to drive leads on another time block. Do not. You're going to get less done if you do not do what is planned. Okay? All right, final pillar to the pyramid. And this is the thing that relieves anxiety in your business the most, and that is action. So, oftentimes, back in the day when I was not making no money, I would sit there and wondering why things aren't getting done. You probably heard this before. I'd be in a state called analysis paralysis, right? Where I'm overanalyzing everything like, how do I generate leads? How do I do this? How da, 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 right? That's what would create analysis paralysis. You know how you get out of analysis paralysis? You pick up the phone and you take action. You create the TikTok video, you take action. You call the underwriter, see where the business is at, right? You call the insurance company, see where your deal is closed. You just take action. You don't know where to start all the time. It's just important to just take the action that you need to take. And I just full-hearted believe that when you take action, a positive compound effect happens. One thing will lead to the other. You put one foot in front of the other, and what will happen is that deal will close because you called the underwriter, you just took action. You didn't know what would happen when you called. It might have not been ready to close. You called them, you close that deal, you go, you call the prospect, you book a meeting, you do it again, right? You just take action. You just put one foot in front of the other. It's as simple as like what Nike always says, just do it. Just do the work that you know you have to do that you're delaying on. I always used to delay talking to this one client that I know I needed to call until last minute. I was forced to almost have to close the policy down because he was not funding his premiums. This would have been solved if I would have just done the work a month earlier, right? So just take action and all that, analysis paralysis will kind of fade away and the anxiety from your day to day will just fade away, okay? You just got to do it, just like Nike says. Focus your day around these two things, okay? Income producing activity, sales calls, paperwork for the business. Those are income producing activities. What I mean by paperwork for the business is I mean closing the deals that you've already sent into underwriting, right? That's what you could focus your day on. That's how you could relieve anxiety, knowing where those are sitting with the underwriters. And obviously, number one is sales calls, right? You want to make sure you're doing your sales calls every single day. If you do not have those booked, find a way to book those calls, whether it's calling people. You know, I don't like selling friends and family, but if you have to when you're first getting started, sometimes that's your only option, and then grow a referral based business. But number one, just get in sales calls by any means. It's very hard to generate income when you're not hopping on calls that make money. How do you close a deal when you're not talking to people, right? So, number one is sales calls. That will help relieve anxiety. When you're not doing income producing activity, you got to be lead generating, right? You need to be focusing on where that next lead will come from. The top two are networking and marketing, right? So networking, it's talking to people that you already know. It's talking to the realtor next door. It's talking, right? It's getting to social events, business building events. Marketing is like TikTok, what I like to specialize in, you know, building a brand on TikTok or marketing with Google ads, YouTube ads, right? That's where you want to focus your time on. And then the final step in the final stage to kind of relieve the stress from your day to day and creating a system is your client management. So, what you want to be focusing your time on is client reviews, which can lead to referrals, right? Because a lot of our client reviews, we could talk about, hey, like we did set this up for you. Who else do you know that could benefit from, the products that we have set up for you, right? Something like that. You want to nurture your clients, spend time nurturing your clients, send them gifts, send them cards, even just a happy birthday message, right? If you see over here, just going to scroll down, data management, right? Logging compliance, managing their data, like sending them a message, make sure to log that message. That relieves anxiety, knowing that you touch base, setting tasks, asking for referrals, right? And then last but not least, settling business. When you do a client review, if the client hasn't closed, obviously settling business. But if you follow this pyramid, I promise you your anxiety will go down. Stress management recap. Key points. Vision. Know what you want, set goals towards it. All right. Organization. Plan ahead, get dialed in. Live by your calendar, live by your Google Calendar. Know exactly what you're going to do the day before. And then last but not least, the thing that relieves anxiety the most, take action. Just do the work you planned on the night before. And if you do the work, guess what happens? Your anxiety gets relieved because the compound effect starts to happen. You just put one step in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. You make the phone call. That leads to the next thing and the next thing. And then the underwriter calls and says, hey, your compliance documents due. You do that, you do that. But make sure you're living by the calendar. Make sure you don't do anything outside your Google Calendar. So guys, this is the stress management pyramid. If you guys have found this information useful, please subscribe to the channel. My goal for this channel is to just help people kind of understand how I've had my success in this business. And hopefully we could take those agents that aren't really performing right now and really make them something and build systems for them and create a viable system for them to kind of rely on, understand that if it's not working right now, it will work in the future, because obviously you're not going to see success right away. But I truly believe if you take the information I provided you, you're not only going to have less stress in your day, you're going to start performing higher. You're going to be closing more business. You're going to be having systems in place that you can rely on, right? Each and every day. It's so hard to kind of make it in this business if you're doing a different thing and you're not building any traction in your day to day. So start by, implementing this system in your day and build onto it. Even if you don't see results in the first week, even the first month, you will see results because it's better than just doing everything different every single day. You need to have a system. You have to have a system in place to kind of move forward. So appreciate your time today. Thank you so much for watching to the end, and I'll see you in the next video.